Imagine trying to attack a whole community and ending up standing alone. He thought it was a joke. The internet thought otherwise. But what shocked everyone was who responded first. And this is what happened when someone tries to mock Black Americans and their own community says, "Not with us, you're not with us." Recently, an Asian man made comments that many people believe were disrespectful towards Black Americans. When the backlash started, he tried to downplay it by saying it was just a joke. And here is the twist. The strongest response didn't just come from Black Americans. It came from his own community. Members of Asian community publicly distanced themselves from him. They made it very clear. Don't drag us into this. They emphasized that one person's word do not represent everyone, and they refused to let his statements create unnecessary tension between communities. And that's important because in moments like this, narrative can spread quickly. Yes. One person speaks recklessly and suddenly entire groups are being blamed or pulled into the conflict they never knew. Now, if you've been following this channel, you remember that previously I covered the same individual who made that remark that many felt were dismissive and disrespectful towards Black Americans. Whether some people call it humor or not, words have impacts, and impact matters more than intent. What's interesting is that since the backlash in Testify, he's been noticeably quiet. Online presence reduced. That silence speaks volume. My name is Faith and you're welcome back to Chats with Faith. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found this channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a conversation. And as always, credit goes to the original creators for every single clip used in this episode. This video is for educational purpose and awareness. It is not to hate or discriminate against anyone. The goal is to discuss real challenges and perspective openly and respectfully. We've got more real conversation coming your way, so stay tuned. Let's chat.
My only problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except Black people. I mean, you're trying to reduce crime. You just give them more room to breathe.
If you're Asian American, the only valid reaction you should have to that video is disgust and, frankly, embarrassment. And now, when Asian communities are under attack, the fact that we're still throwing the Black community under the bus shows how desperate some of us are to cling to this proximity to whiteness as our saving grace, as if that is going to keep us safe and protect our families when it never has before. A lot of us talk about how Asian discrimination and racism is downplayed, but it shouldn't come as a surprise when so many of us are so quick to disavow any solidarity with other communities of color. If you are part of an immigrant family, I know you know how rampant anti-blackness is in our world, and to see it perpetuated in the name of humor and an unfunny joke is embarrassing.
Hans Kim, you can suck it. I'm gonna be an unfiltered bitch for a second. I am so tired of the men in my community. Racism I've seen from Asians, the racism I've seen from East Asians, the racism I've seen from East Asian men is enough to send me into a psychosis. I do believe in putting down men like the wild dogs they are, especially when they're from my community because they're so insufferably embarrassing. Like, I'd rather never experience an orgasm again than breathe the same air as these fucking peons. That was more than 1 second. Before we continue today's episode, I want to emphasize that if I say anything emasculating, it is not because they are Asian. It is because no one is exempt from small dick energy behavior. That also being said, I feel like the Asian community thinks I've had my foot on too many other Asian people's necks for negative reasons, so I will shout out 3 Asian men that I do love. That's Andy, Oppa, and Nathan. Love them. Everything I have found out about Hans Kim has been against my will, but on sight, I knew that man was Korean. A lot of people have been asking me to speak up about Hans Kim and add nuance to this conversation, but genuinely, I don't think there's any nuance to be had. He is plain, dry, and simple a racist to his core. That line, "give them more room to breathe," made my skin crawl. And all that word vomit about ICE and Black people and Latin people, just like, it was performing assimilation in real time. Black community has a saying for this called tap dancing. I don't want to use that because I feel there's historical reference there. So I feel like for Asians, it's like, we're serving tea to them, like you're literally a master's lapdog. To be a raging bitch again, honestly, I am waiting for his generation to die out. Obviously not his whole generation. I'm talking about people like him, his type, and his generation to die out. Asian Americans have historically been racialized as emasculated in America under white supremacy, but some small dick lapdogs respond to that humiliation by trying to reclaim power and masculinity through proximity to power, through proximity to whiteness, and distancing themselves from Blackness. In racial triangulation, Asians are valorized in comparison comparison to black people, but is still kept as foreign to white. Him being racist towards black and Latin and every other community actually is not subversive, is not funny, it's compliant and assimilatory, which is why it's so fucking cringe and embarrassing. Asian Americans are capable of solidarity, accountability. They are capable of complexity and critique. But some of these fucks just have to go. Some Asian Americans think I'm condescending, and well, guess what? Maybe you should feel shame and embarrassment for your actions and behaviors. I think at the start of any real solidarity work, there's going to be a baseline of shame and embarrassment that you have to go through, and you have to move through it. At the end of the day, Asian Americans don't look like this fuck. We're all adults. Go get your degree in architecture, smoke your fucking Newport, and build a bridge and get the fuck over it. Shame and humiliation won't kill you, but I will. Some of y'all stay humiliating us, and I'm gonna need something to change because I'm fucking tired. Like, I'm tired. But fuck. If I expanded your attention spans, please follow my Substack, subscribe to my YouTube, and find me on Instagram.
My only problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people.
So that guy, Hans Kim, we started comedy over 12 years ago, and we both would go to Laughs Comedy Club, which used to be in Kirkland, but now is in Seattle. I think he might have had one more year under his belt. We weren't like friends or anything, but we saw each other in passing. He was nice enough to compliment me once and say I had great energy on stage, but we never did any shows together because obviously there was never going to be a show where we would have like the same audience. So I would only bump into him occasionally at like open mics, like very early on, because I stopped going to open mics because there was no point in doing open mics for me. Because on any given night, when you're testing your material, the audience you're going to get on a Tuesday night at an open mic is going to be like bros who they themselves are there to get their dicks up to see if they can go on stage. Anyways, I remember people like thinking he's like God because Joe Rogan liked him and had him on his show. And then he became a regular on Kill Tony. And in the Asian circle, it was very well known that he was the token Asian that Tony got because Tony wanted to clean up his image after being racist to another Asian comedian. Anyways, I just feel like in every sphere of my life, there are the Asians that I know, like even on this app and in comedy, that blew up because they pander to white people. And it was always irritating to see, right? But I always said to myself, I'd rather be a nobody than be a white people token. Because once you get spent, you are nothing but a disgrace to your own race. And I would rather my name never be known and be just content making coffee money doing what I love because I can sleep good at night, knowing I didn't sell out and bring shame to my own people. I'm currently living the dream. And you know what? Being unknown and not making shitloads of money, but having peace of mind. I know it's not the thing our society promotes, but I'm telling you, living a good life that's good for the soul, that's my skincare routine because I don't even wash my face.
I saw an Asian creator on here talk about this guy.
The problem with ICE is that they're going after every minority group except black people.
He was basically saying that it's not worth calling out that kind of overt racism because he's not really representative of the Asian community as a whole, and it actually stokes tension between the black and Asian communities. I've seen in my own comments that this situation in particular has brought up a lot of feelings of frustration and anger and tension, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. This is valuable and important information that people are sharing with us, and we should be learning from it rather than trying to stifle it. We should be taking seriously the fact that there are hundreds of folks from the black community in the comments of these videos saying that they're not surprised at all, that this validates their lived experience with the Asian community, and that this one racist person is not isolated, and that it is in fact in line with how they've experienced the world. We shouldn't discount those experiences or say that it's not worth it to bring those experiences to the forefront. If we're ever going to truly be in solidarity with other communities of color, we need to acknowledge how those communities have felt let down by us instead of ignoring it and hoping it'll just go away. We need to listen, we need to do the work, and we need to demonstrate that we understand that what we're trying to fight against is white supremacy and not each other.
The Asian community is literally so anti-black, and it literally fucking pisses me off. Like, we are literally so uneducated, uninformed, just misinformed, everything about the black community, and it pisses me off. And like, it just boggles my mind how a lot of Asians see black people as beneath them. I shit you not, I literally saw someone on my story and I literally was so gagged. Like, I was like, are you serious right now? And I sent him a message, ask him if he's being serious about this. This guy is Bhutanese. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but like, I guess he got like some kind of spray tan or whatever because he's doing some kind of stupid movie shoot or whatever. Roy posts on his story and says, because his skin is like 10 shades darker or something, he said, "Can I say the N-word now?" with a ninja emoji next to it. I slid up so fucking quick and I asked this man, are you fucking serious right now? And guess what? That man left me on red. Need I say again that he is not black? He is Bhutanese from Bhutan or whatever the fuck you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Quite honestly, like, the Asian community is literally so underhandedly racist to the black community, and it just, like, not to mention the black community is one of the most supportive of marginalized groups that has ever, like, uplifted the Asian community and actually put effort into supporting us. I'm probably gonna piss a lot of Asians off for saying that, but it's literally the truth, and I fucking see it for what it is.
I want to give props out to this girl named Inuri Lee, I think. I saw her video, man. I like to highlight allies. There's a lot of non-black folks that are really spitting real spitting historical spitting respect that they should have for black Americans especially.
I am so tired of the men in my community. Racism I've seen from Asians, the racism I've seen from East Asians, the racism I've seen from East Asian men is enough to send me into a psychosis. I'd rather never experience an orgasm again than breathe the same air as these peons.
I'm loving this shit. That's the one thing about social media. It's not all bad. It depends on how you use it. It's like a hammer. You either use it to build or to kill. And I've noticed that, and I'm always trying my best to highlight people who are being allies and doing the real work, even though they may get death threats from their people or whatever. And the fact that this girl is really killing it on it. I love this video where she's talking about this guy named Kim. His last name is Kim.
Everything I have found out about Hans Kim has been against my will, but on sight, I knew that man was Korean. He is plain, dry, and simple a racist to his core. That line, "give them more room to breathe," made my skin crawl. And all that word vomit about ICE and black people and Latin people, just like, it was performing assimilation in real time.
He's a comic. I know he's a Korean comic, and he does comedy with Tony Hinchcliffe and all them. And listen, I know Tony Hinchcliffe. I know him. I've done Kill Tony. And it is what it is. It's an insult show. I'm not no sensitive to no racial shit. As long as you craft a good racial joke, I laugh at all that shit. I don't give a f. I'm not some prissy I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I do racial shit. So everybody should be able to do racial shit as a comedian, but be creative. Yo, my man. You need to update your racism, my man. You know, and she's explaining this like, you know, because Asian Americans, a lot of Asians, East Asians have so much racism in them.
Asian Americans have historically been racialized as emasculated in America under white supremacy, but some small lapdogs respond to that humiliation by trying to reclaim power and masculinity through proximity to power, through proximity to whiteness, and distancing themselves from blackness.
And by the way, all you Asians come from Africa, all right? You know the San people from South Africa? That's where you're related to. Those Africans that look Chinese, you're from there. So you being racist against black people is just stupid because you come from us. The Asiatic face is African. I'm just going to throw some anthropology in there. But I love what this girl's doing. She's breaking it down. So listen to what she's saying. She's calling this comic out.
In racial triangulation, Asians are valorized in comparison to black people, but still kept as foreign to white. Him being racist towards black and Latin and every other community actually is not subversive, is not funny, it's compliant and assimilatory, which is why it's so cringe and embarrassing.
Listen, he's probably doing it to get, you know, he's like a pick-me comic. He wants these white dudes to be like, yeah, that's funny, but it's like you got comedy from the 70s and 80s and shit. And I'm saying, I don't know if other black comics are down with me, but yo, Kim, why don't you say that shit around us? Say that same joke around us. See, you in the safety of those white dudes, but say that shit around us black comics. I guarantee you that'll be your last joke.
Asian Americans are capable of solidarity, accountability. They are capable of complexity and critique. But some of these, I think at the start of any real solidarity work, there's going to be a baseline of shame and embarrassment that you have to go through, and you have to move through it.
There's a lot of racism in comedy. I get it, but you still got to craft your shit properly and don't try to hide behind, oh, it's just comedy. We'll be more creative than that. Update your racism. You understand that? Update your racism. Then you got your own people calling you to out. Good job, Unuri Lee. I think it's a Unuri Lee, whatever it is. I got your back, and I appreciate that. And she said, let's bridge the gap. You know, come on, man. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
This thing called the Negro Building, which I think is horrible. Nowadays, we just call it a basketball court. I have been buying a lot of things through Instagram ads. I bought that purple stuff that's supposed to make yellow teeth whiter. Yeah, I've been using it on my skin.
The Negro building?
Yeah, it's a true thing. It's history, Jamar.
I love it. Why would you have to call out Jamar like that? He was just relaxing.
I was waiting for your lips to catch up to your words, so I...
Wearing a, what is that, Phoenix Suns?
Yes.
You like the Suns?
No.
Right. Neither does your father. You get it?
Yes. My father.
Your father's disappointed in you.
Should be proud of me. I don't know. I haven't really talked to him. We don't really talk.
You don't talk the talk, but do you walk the walk? W-O-K. They're coming in fast, people. Don't get lost. So you don't ever call your family just to say, hi? I'm sorry. We're going to have to edit that one out. We're going to edit that one out. That's an edit point right there. No? All right, we'll leave it in.
I like how you're squinting and still need glasses.
Thank you,
that?
Mr. Lowercase.
Do you want to know why there's a hate between Asian people and black people? Let me tell you. There's no hate. Asian people love black people. Do you want to know why Asian Americans just want to be black all the time? Like, they just want to be cool because we have no representation in the media. You know what I mean? All we got is white people and then black comedy. That's all we got. Like, we got Bruce Lee from like the 70s. That's all we got. When we finally like some cartoons that people like, it's like Dragon Ball Z. We're like, yeah, this is awesome. Wait, the Ultimate Form is blonde hair and blue eyes? What the? You know what I mean? So, where's the love? Because the love is here. Asian people love black people. So don't forever forget that. Don't ever forget that.
You know, I can honestly say that I truly, truly appreciate the black community and being in support of understanding what the Asian community is going through. Mainly because we don't deserve your kindness. Like, we don't deserve the amount of gratitude, the moral support, the kindness that you have provided us on all levels of platform when it comes to being so relatable. Simply because of all of the racist shit that you guys have endured from our community in its own. I don't deserve it, you know, because even coming from a family of immigrants, like, for our family to come here to the States and to either piggyback, hop on, ignoring all of those things and not acknowledging a problem of us being racist to black Americans, but immigrating from a whole nother country and then just developing a whole racist mindset because of what white Americans have planted is freaking insane. So we don't deserve your guys' kindness. We don't deserve this. So when I say that I'm truly, truly appreciative and I really, really do admire the amount of support that we have been getting, I truly mean it. For a while now, I understood that even for myself, that I have appropriated black culture, and however that may look, right? As simply as being given permission from some of my black friends to use the N-word, to talking, dressing, and just really trying to find a way to be actually accepted by the black community because my own community wouldn't accept me, you know? So when I found a group of people that's willing to accept me for who I am, I wanted to be so relatable that, like, I pretty much just like pushed myself into appropriating some of the things of your own culture, when in reality, the black community honestly just accepted me for who I was, regardless of whatever it may be. And now that I've been healing from the type of environment that I've grown from, I apologize for ever overstepping any type of boundaries, to ever make it seem like it was ever okay to appropriate anything of the black community. And that's why I feel like it's so important that we really need to acknowledge that we do not deserve this amount of kindness that the black community has given us to support that, like, hey, you know what? We know what you're going through. We are here for you. We understand. Because we have done some fucked up shit. And at this point, it doesn't even matter if it's the East Asians, the Southeast Asians. We all took a part of that. Do you know what I'm saying? Even with the divide between East Asians and Southeast Asians and how Southeast Asians are actually looked upon the East Asians, it doesn't matter at that point, because overall, we are all one community here in America. You know, in the States, we're in one community, which is why it's important that we have to honestly talk about all these things. We have to talk about things that our people have done and hold ourselves accountable, so that way we can actually move forward into creating a more unified society. In America, we need to do that. And I'm not also just talking about the Asian community. I'm also noting any other families of immigrants that come here. You guys all understand and know that your families also came here and went along with all of the racism that exists in America, and they went along with it for whatever reason why they did, right? Because we all have our own traumas and we all have a different ways of survival. We all did it. But now in this new society, it is our job to make sure it doesn't get any further than what it has been. This is all of the immigrants. This is the Hispanics. This is the Muslims, Arabs, Jewish, Asians. All of us need to come together and really acknowledge that. For the sake of the future, we have to do that. So for the white people who don't understand, like, you guys need to all inclusively accept accountability for it, because your people were the ones that for generations, hundreds of years, starting from slavery up until now, your families have been teaching generations of racist shit, to the point where immigrants come over and they adapt that type of mentality. You have to hold yourself accountable. And unfortunately, yes, you do have to pay for it. You have to hold yourself accountable the same way how the Asian community existing right now needs to be accountable of all the racist shit that we have done too. Because that's the only way to fix that. You need to acknowledge it and you have to put in the work. So as much as you're trying to prove to us that you're not one of those people, you need to prove it to your people why they shouldn't be like that. You don't need to be advocating to us. You don't need to be advocating to any other person of color. You need to advocate it to your own people, because the person who told me if it wasn't for you effing Chinese people because of COVID shutdown, that was 5 years ago. He still exists in this world. He's still planting those little seeds with those little remarks out here in this world from 5 years ago. He didn't go anywhere. He's not like he died. So yes, this conversation has truly evolved into something for me. And I just feel like it would be doing a disservice for someone who's just talking about like the whole Asian market and stuff and not really acknowledging that elephant in the room.
That's all I have for this video, guys. And honestly, I want to give credit where credit is due. I respect the individuals within his Asian community who spoke up and made it clear that one person's word do not represent them. That kind of accountability matters. As a week or 2 weeks ago, I covered the video where this man made what he called a joke. In that so-called joke, he suggested that while other groups were facing immigrant enforcement, Black Americans were somehow being spared, as if that was unfair. And that's where the problem is. First of all, Black Americans are citizens. Deportation doesn't apply to citizens. So framing it as though they are being left out makes no logical sense. Beyond that, using a sensitive issue like immigration enforcement as a punchline, especially in a way that targets to a specific group, is not humor. It's irresponsible. Comedy is meant to entertain. It can challenge ideas, yes, but when it relies on misinformation or creates unnecessary division, people are going to respond, and they did. Many Black Americans spoke out, and importantly, members of his own community also stepped forward to say, do not involve us in this. That's powerful, because accountability doesn't just come from outside criticism. Sometimes it comes from within, and that's when people are forced to reflect. But what the situation shows is simple. Words have input. Platform comes with responsibility. This isn't about hate. It's about understanding that misinformation helps no one. Let me know your thoughts respectfully in the comments. And as always, let's keep the conversation thoughtfully and informed. See you in my next video.